Запрошуємо до слова.
Now the floor is given to Colonel Dmytro Hutsulyak, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine spokesperson. Good afternoon, everyone. Now to your attention is the information about the situation at the line of confrontation in the Joint Forces Operation Zone during the last 24 hours, the 12th of May, and as of today, the 13th of May. During the last 24 hours at the line of confrontation, there was some escalation caused by Russian occupation forces. Lone shellings delivered by occupants against Joint Forces positions were recorded along the front line. At that, the enemy continued to use types of weapons, the caliber of which is prohibited by the Minsk agreements. Our defenders carry out active defense. Unfortunately, in the result of active military actions, we sustained casualties. In the Lugansk sector, during the 12th of May, 27 lone precision enemy shellings were recorded. As it was reported at about 1 a.m., militants of occupation administrations of Russian Federation delivered 15 shots using 122mm artillery against defenders of Novosvanivka later. After 5 p.m., during 2 hours, the enemy delivered intensive shelling using artillery and mortars on defense positions of Ukrainian defenders near Troitsk. Here, 16 enemy shots from 122mm artillery and bursts of more than 30 mines of 120mm of caliber were recorded. Moreover, 120mm mortars prohibited by the Minsk agreements and 82mm mortars were used repeatedly by the enemy against positions of the units of joint forces in the region of Prechepilivka, Novosvanivka, Troitsk, Zaitsevo, Novgorodske, and near Zalizne. Provocative shellings from grenade launchers of different types and large caliber machine guns were repeatedly delivered by the enemy in direction of the defenders of Troitsk, Krymsk, Prechepilivka, Mayorsk, Novgorodska, Novoselivka, Zhovte, 7 times against defenders of Novosvanivka and 5 times near Zaitsevo. In the Donetsk sector, during the last 24 hours, the enemy 46 times delivered active provocative precision shellings. 120 and 82mm mortars were used by the enemy against defenders of Kamenka, Verkhnyodoretsk, and Avdiivka. And in Donetsk sector, militants of occupation administrations of Russian Federation were actively using grenade launchers of different types, large caliber machine guns and small arms. Multiple enemy shellings were recorded near Avdiivka, Gnutove, Kamenka, Vodene, Marienka, Verkhnyodoretsk, Pavlopil, Krasnogorivka, Shirokine, Talakivka, Opatne, Nevelske, Peshevik, and against defenders of Butivka mine. During the day, enemy snipers delivered fire on defenders of Pavlopil, Gnutova, Avdiivka, and Opatne. On the whole, during the last 24 hours, on the 12th of May, 73 precision shellings of defense positions of the units of the joint forces were recorded. Militants of occupation administrations of Russian Federation delivered on our defenders 31 shots using 122mm artillery and launched about 140 mines using 120 and 82mm mortars. Our servicemen carried out active defense using service infantry weapons, grenade launchers, small arms, and also 40 times returned fire to preserve lives and health of military personnel. Unfortunately, we have to inform that in the result of armored aggression of Russian Federation in the territory of Donetsk and Lugansk oblasts, Ukraine once again sustained casualties. In the result of enemy shellings, one Ukrainian serviceman died. He was born in 1994. Our hearts go out to the relatives and close one and comrades of our hero. Eternal memory to him. Moreover, in the result of shellings delivered by Russian occupation forces on the 12th of May, 4 defenders were injured. They were brought to military mobile hospitals where they were provided with all necessary qualified medical help. Health condition of one of our defenders is of mid-severity, others are in satisfactory condition. Now about current situation today on the 13th of May. Starting midnight, militants of occupation administrations of Russian Federation delivered 12 precision shellings. Moreover, in the Lugansk sector, right after midnight, during about half hour, enemy launched more than 40 mines using 82mm mortars against defenders of Novgorodsk. At about 5 a.m., the enemy started launch shelling against defenders of Svetlodarsk using 122mm artillery and mortars of different calibers. Also, mortars of 120mm of caliber were used against our defense positions near Lugansk, and 3 times provocative shellings from IFV weaponry, grenade launchers, and large caliber machine guns. In the Donetsk sector, starting this 24 hours, enemy provocations with the use of grenade launchers and other types of infantry weapons were recorded near Talkivka, opened twice in the region of Vodyane and 3 times in the region of Avdiivka. From the start of this 24 hours, the 13th of May, in the result of shelling delivered by militants of Russian occupation forces, 2 servicemen were injured. They were brought to military mobile hospitals. Health condition of defenders is satisfactory. We should note that the situation in the Joint Forces Operation Zone remains difficult, but it is under full control of Ukrainian servicemen. Our defenders are vigilant, they carry out active defense, and they are ready to any development of the situation. Thank you.